Aquatic bodywork is often it's known as Watsu because Watsu happens to extending for water shiatsu, happens to be like a mother of aquatic bodywork therapies developed in the early 90s, late 80s. And at the same time there were two other modalities that are also quite known, water dance, and at that time it was called aqua wellness, I believe. It's the body work that happens in water temperature 34 to 35 ideally. The temperature that is not as hot as our body, but that is close to our body. It allows the whole body, through the muscle relaxation, through the pressure of the water, through the relaxation of the external muscles, the whole system resets. And healing can happen much faster. Physical healing, mental, emotional things may emerge much faster and softer than in any other verbal therapeutic setup. And you're being held and cradled in the arms of a stranger, which on land would feel so, sometimes could be so intimidating or very crossing boundaries, but somehow the water body helps that. It just takes that away. It's unbelievable. It's just unbelievable how complete strangers can hold each other from the first day of the basic course without any issue. It's actually, I take it for granted, but it's unbelievable how it works. And it's because of the water, and more so because of the warm water, because in the cold water the body has tendency, the muscles tense. And in the warm water is the opposite, they relax. So it's very beneficial on the physical for the joints and for the nervous systems and so on. So.
Alors le travail que l'on fait avec l'eau, c'est une approche un peu différente de ce qu'on parle généralement au niveau du traitement de l'eau. C'est-à-dire que ça intègre la purification, mais aussi ce qu'on appelle la biodynamisation, c'est-à-dire qu'on travaille avec l'énergie de l'eau. Donc c'est une autre dimension qui est fondamentale dans la relation de l'eau et de la vie, l'eau et le vivant. Ça c'est, au départ, notre travail s'est focalisé surtout sur la recherche d'essayer de comprendre qu'est-ce qu'était l'eau, fondamentalement, et pourquoi elle avait cette importance pour la vie et pour nous, pour la santé aussi humaine. Il y a eu tout un développement de plusieurs années en fait, de recherche avec toutes les documentations scientifiques à l'heure actuelle qui travaillent plus au niveau de la physique quantique, de la chimie quantique. Donc la compréhension de l'aspect fondamental de l'eau, de la matière d'une façon générale, au niveau de la relation matière, énergie et conscience. Parce que tout ça c'est relié, c'est pas séparé. Pourquoi ça? Parce qu'en fait, on sait que l'eau a des propriétés qui sont incroyables au niveau de la santé. On parle des eaux thérapeutiques, on parle des eaux miraculeuses, et on sait qu'on est constitué en majorité d'eau. Et tellement relié à notre vie, à notre condition humaine, en fait, qu'il m'a paru en fait très important, dans le contexte d'Auroville, en tant que laboratoire, de travailler sur cet élément et de pouvoir vérifier si on pouvait, en améliorant ses propriétés et son aspect vivant, lui donner une possibilité en fait d'améliorer la santé de tout le monde d'une façon la plus simple possible, c'est-à-dire juste en buvant de l'eau. Et on est tombé sur beaucoup de choses passionnantes, dont le phénomène de la mémoire de l'eau. C'est-à-dire que l'eau est la médiatrice de la vie et elle porte les informations de vie. Cet aspect-là est relié au côté vibratoire, à la fonction vibratoire de l'eau, qui est en fait quelque chose qu'on retrouve partout, tout est vibration, et c'est à ce niveau-là qu'on peut toucher le mystère de la vie, parce que vraiment la vie s'inscrit dans cette réalité vibratoire. La matière est déjà une vibration condensée. L'évolution suivre de plus en plus cette évolution de la matière vers les formes de plus en plus fluides, et aller dans les dimensions d'énergie et aussi d'information un peu plus loin à la conscience. Donc c'est fondamentalement cette recherche du yoga intégral de Shrobino et de Mer qu'on fait à Roville, c'est matière, énergie, conscience. Et l'eau, en fait, a tous ces éléments, mais il faut lui restituer cette capacité qu'elle a naturellement de porter la vie, donc au niveau de sa vitalité. Donc on a travaillé sur la recherche, on a fait après des applications technologiques qui ont été brevetées pour retravailler, traiter l'eau, d'abord au niveau fondamental de sa pureté, de la purification, et deuxièmement au niveau de son énergie, de sa vitalité. Et donc on a créé une technologie qui s'appelle la biodynamisation et qui permet d'avoir une eau pure et vivante. Et on a pu vraiment voir que quand on améliorait ces propriétés de l'eau, il y avait des retraductions thérapeutiques au niveau vraiment de la santé humaine qui étaient très importantes et très concrètes en même temps. Donc à la suite de quoi on a développé l'humanitaire, c'est-à-dire qu'on a été approché, on a reçu des donations pour faire des systèmes, des installations d'eau dans des monastères tibétains. Donc on a mis quasiment dans l'Inde, du sud au nord, à Dharamsala, Bodh Gaya, Mysore, pendant des années, plusieurs années. On a fait des installations d'eau pour à peu près 100 000 personnes. Donc ça a été le travail principal d'Aquadine. Et évidemment pour Auroville et les villages.
My work with water is 40 years of work. Started 40 years ago. And for 20 years I've been working in Spain, northern Spain, Catalonia, and south of France, in wastewater, mainly industrial wastewater. And then I started to work on small wastewater plant that we could use in third world cases. And I worked for 3 years in Pakistan for UNICEF as a consultant, giving water to the villages and teaching the villages how to make biogas, for example. You know. And then I came to Roville, and I started to work with Aquadine to understand what was the energized water. So I started my own research, and I introduced the vortex 15 years ago, 17 years ago, in Auroville from here. And the vortex is a beautiful tool to energize water because it's the way to introduce ether in water. And ether is now, at the beginning of this era, of this Aquarius era, is the water bearer that is changing the water in some higher dimension. Ether is water from above that is going into water from below in this era. And vortex is a tool. Scientifically, you cannot measure it. There's no way you can scientifically give a value. But you have other ways, and dowsing is one way. Dowsing is one way, and we use the Bovis units, which you may be familiar with. And the Bovis units are immediately going up when you use the vortex. So that was a fantastic discovery. And I realized that this is exactly what we needed to be in union with ether and water. This is real water. Okay? When you have that water, it's then extremely easy to focus the supplemental energy, light, in the vortex. And then you have miracles happening. And then your vibration is going up tremendously, and your water is completely different. So that was our research for 5 years. Water received a supplemental vibration in 2007, and from then the vibration of water has never ceased to increase. So that's what we have done here. We have tried to use that water everywhere. We drink it, we cook with it, we give it to the ponds, we give it to the fish, we have it in the vortex in the garden, and we have it in the small flow forms. We have 3 flow forms. So this is giving life, and we can measure life. We have done research on therapeutic water. We use harmony and samatha, homeopathic preparation from Mother and Sri Aurobindo, and we had some incredible results, assessed by mediums receiving the message. That water stayed here, known by a few only. We have also researched to increase the trimeric water, which means trimolecules of water is what we have in our body. Our cell is using trimeric water, which means that if you drink trimeric water, your body doesn't have to work. It goes directly to your cells. So we can do that.
Ouais, ils sont nombreux. Ils sont nombreux parce que premièrement, c'est une approche et un concept qui n'est pas habituel. Donc les gens sont habitués à parler de l'eau potable, quelquefois même c'est la flotte, c'est-à-dire c'est banal, c'est quelque chose. Et donc essayer de faire comprendre aux gens que s'il y a cette conscience et dans la relation avec l'eau et une exigence aussi au niveau de la santé, eh ben, il y a beaucoup de bénéfices. Donc c'est la fonction communication-éducation. Après, ben, il y a toutes les relations avec la technologie même pour la faire évoluer. La mise en place d'une infrastructure comme c'est actuellement avec des machines, avec un espace de travail, avec des employés. Donc ça, c'est un challenge important dans le contexte d'Auroville. Donc là, on a créé avec l'aide de Christine une économie, on appelle ça une économie hybride, qui relie en fait le côté social, service, et le côté commercial, pour pouvoir adapter en fait et avoir d'un côté comme de l'autre, chacun est nécessaire et complémentaire de l'autre. Ça, c'est un challenge aussi parce que c'est vraiment 2 aspects très, très différents, mais en même temps qui sont fondamentalement une bonne combinaison vertueuse pour pouvoir avoir les moyens de faire de la recherche et du service.
Challenge is to try to convey this truth to Aurovillians, to Auroville. That has been I wouldn't say a failure, because a lot of people are coming here and like the water, so they come to have water here. But this is, for me, basically it's a failure. I'm puzzled to see that the lack of quality is not bothering Aurovillians. They still drink the same water as 20 years ago, 17 years ago. I'm measuring all the time Auroville water. I can tell you I cannot drink it. But so I don't have an answer for that.
Well, in the work that I do, the challenge with water is, of course, the availability of water. At Quiet, where I mainly work, for the work I do, it's actually not so important, but there is a sea intrusion, a seawater intrusion, so the water is salty. It doesn't affect what we do, but it affects the pipes and this kind of things, and everything around, the salty air, and so. At present, at least, it's not a problem water in this sense of the quantity or availability of water, but then there would be the quality of water and how can we have water as natural as possible and not chemically treated and things like that. And then another one is the temperature of the water, which again goes to other resources, either solar or electricity when there is not enough sun. So it's a very fragile body of existence that offers a lot of possibilities. At the moment, quiet actually is not right now, but up to March 16 has been possibly the place on the planet with the most courses running per year, even though we have only season of December to April. So yeah, we have been quite internationally somehow. A lot of people come and train and teach and so on. And definitely Auroville needs another place because of the courses in the season from December to April. There's hardly any space for sessions, and even less sessions for Aurovillians in that time, because Quiet runs the whole year through based on the money that comes through guests and paying students from abroad, because Aurovillians come for free to participate in courses or to have sessions.
I wrote a project 15 years ago to treat the wastewater from Pondy wastewater plant. And that was relatively easy. They're using lagooning. The result is no good, it's not very good, but we can improve that with simple treatment. And there is something incredible. All the lands from that plant to Auroville belong to Auroville. So I could imagine, having a treatment very easy, very simple, and have, that was 15 years ago, and have water reaching Auroville with perfect conditions to be reinjected in the underground. So that was my idea, that was my dream. And we would have solved 10 years ago Auroville's problem of water problem. My dream is also to see Auroville drink a better water.
My dream would be that people would really realize the power and potential of this work and the water as such, because it's whatever we add, it's like on top of it, but it's the warm water that does it. And there is so much potential. I used to have this ongoing joke between aquatic body workers of, every politician or every decision-making person or group of people first go in the warm water and spend half an hour together in there and bond and connect, and then make choices and decisions from those places. I really, really wish there was an aquatic bodywork center in the center of Auroville that was accessible to all ages. Like the pool that we have, it's far out of the center, so it's not so accessible in that way. The way that the literal access, like a ladder to the pool goes, it's really steep, so it's not super friendly for handicapped people or people with disabilities, elder people and so on. So to have a pool that would be accessible, really accessible and available. Yeah, and that there was awareness. I wish that there was awareness, like I said earlier, about the power and the potentials of this work in the water, in the warm water, and what water holds. The same like from where we come, it's so potent.
C'est de faire un service modèle, si on peut dire, dans toute Auroville et dans les villages, la biorégion d'Auroville, d'eau vitale, d'eau bonne pour la santé, revenir à cette relation entre l'humain et l'eau, qui est une relation fondamentale. Et donc, mettre concrètement au cœur d'Auroville cette réalité où il n'y a plus de problème de trouver de l'eau, de la bonne eau pour boire.
We actually had a plan and the vision, the plan. We started fundraising for a center close to where the elderly home is now, close to Arca. Behind that, we even got a piece of land. But we made a big mistake because us therapists are lousy fundraisers and are lousy organizers and planners, I guess. Because the next whatever development group that came along, they took that piece of land away from us. They said, no way there's going to be anything happening there, even though we got it before. But we made a mistake not to put a foot on in a term of a tiny storeroom or something like that. But you learn as you go anyhow. It would need like a group of people who are good with fundraising, plus a group of people who, who realize that this is really potent work on so many levels, and it cannot be us therapists or teachers. There's two or three different professions. It's because we try to do it all in one, and we just fundraised as much as for mountains of brochures and to pay a little maintenance to the person who was running the thing, but not much more. So it comes down to funds and then down to collaboration, actually, like to collaboration with people who are concerned with health. It's health related, but it's water because it's, so that's how I oddly end in the water topic. But there's so much power there. She's so powerful.
Pour cela, il faudrait que Auroville peut-être change son focus au niveau du fait de développer beaucoup les entreprises qui rapportent de l'argent, mais peut-être se concentrer sur les services ou les entreprises qui ont des services qui peuvent donner aux Aurovilliens et aux gens d'une façon générale les choses fondamentales pour le bien-être et pour leurs besoins vitaux en fait. Je pense que Auroville est à un point maintenant où on doit tourner notre regard sur les besoins du monde, sur ce qui se passe dans le monde, et redimensionner ou tout au moins refocaliser notre énergie sur les fondamentaux que nous a donné Mère dans son rêve, dans la charte et dans tout ce qu'elle a dit au niveau de la vie d'Auroville et de ses objectifs.
I don't know whether the people are ready for that, Sometimes they don't want to increase their vibration. That means change, That means increase a little bit their spiritual ambitions also. No, not everybody is ready to do that. We are in Auroville, I know, but water is a beautiful tool, to increase your vibration, your consciousness, your harmony, your visions, your receptivity, obviously. You see, we are born with 90% water when we are a baby, and we die with 60. Life is a slow dehydration process. It's vital. Everything is in the water, everything.
Peut-être essayer de communiquer et d'établir dans les groupes d'Auroville qui travaillent sur le développement, de définir une autre approche, encore une fois, et d'avoir une volonté de dire, bon, en fait, qu'est-ce que l'homme a besoin fondamentalement ? L'argent n'est qu'un support pour avoir des choses, mais fondamentalement, ce qui est important, c'est l'eau qu'on boit, c'est l'air qu'on respire, c'est la terre qui nous donne tout, c'est le feu, le soleil et l'énergie. Et c'est l'éther, le prana, c'est-à-dire les énergies plus subtiles, et puis un peu en même temps la conscience. Si on pouvait, à l'heure actuelle, prendre conscience au niveau global d'Auroville, de la collectivité, que Auroville est un laboratoire de recherche pour l'humanité, pour les Aurovilliens, mais surtout pour l'humanité dans son ensemble, comme disait Mère, et que la volonté des Aurovilliens, c'est de revenir aux fondamentaux et de travailler sur réellement les éléments qui ont un sens pour l'humanité entière. À l'heure actuelle, tout le monde le sait, hein, on est en train de tuer la planète, la Terre, on pollue l'air, on pollue l'eau. Donc partout dans le monde, il y a une prise de conscience. Moi, j'aimerais qu'Auroville soit à la pointe de cette prise de conscience.
We have a lot of know-how and whatever suggestions how things should be made and built, but if you don't have a piece of land and the money that goes to make that is a bit, yeah. So yeah, it's funding. Basically, it's funding and a kind of a group, collective project, not like a bunch of people who want to work there eventually. Yeah. Education, maybe, yeah, kind of education on that level.
I should tell you also about Auroville water that Alok and Edouard called Kiwi here, is more known as Kiwi. I call it live water because it goes to the ground and dissolves more mineral, and then you see the roots spreading. It's just live water. I spent a few days with Edouard, with Kiwi, and I was amazed what he was getting in terms of yields, just changing the water, and the taste of the product, of tomato, of the fruits, a lot of fruits also, olives. Yields, incredible yields. Reduction of all kinds of chemicals that they were using. So savings. That is unbelievable what's happening, what I've seen. And I can tell you that Mother was with me, and she was very interested. What I received from Mother there was that this water used wisely in Orchard could give 100% of Auroville food. As simple as that. And it was a beautiful experience. Now I know that it's not their priority to introduce that water at the moment. I think the priority is to get quantity of water. And then we'll go to the quality. You know. The farms are not yet ready to fully understand this water. That's what I've sensed after working a little bit with Orchard. They're not ready. Auroville is not ready for many things. They have the tools are there. And Tapani water is just incredible. So, future is not so bleak, you know, not so bad. When Aurovillians realize the importance of water, they will solve most of their problems. If they would have used the water of consciousness in the solar kitchen, immediately the food will have multiplied by 10 its vibration, which means people will have multiplied by, I don't know how many.
Come get water sessions, experience the magic and power of this work. And also, like, as a community, to realize that this is really important, that there's so much potential from pre-birth, from, prenatal, like pregnancy, to babies, to the children, adults, relationships, working groups, to elderly, soothing their aches and pains and aging and all that. There's rehabilitation. There is so many potential about this work. Psychological instabilities, all that. It's just endless.
The water quantity that we need will come. I know that we have less and less water every year. For the first time last year we didn't have enough water, so we had to reduce the quality of water. We need a lot of water because we have a lot of green environment. So we had to reduce that and more this year. So what will happen next year if we don't do anything? I don't know.
Par rapport à ça, j'aimerais, premièrement, qu'il y ait de la part du collectif d'Auroville une prise de conscience de cette réalité qu'Aquadine essaie de mettre en place, c'est-à-dire vraiment offrir cette eau de santé au plus grand nombre, hein, et à tous, vraiment nous focaliser et concentrer l'énergie de notre collectivité sur ces choses fondamentales, dont l'eau évidemment, mais ça c'est bon. Je dirais qu'en fait, à l'heure actuelle, après 51 ans d'Auroville, je pense qu'il est vraiment temps qu'Auroville prenne ce nouveau départ pour reprendre les choses en incluant tous ces éléments dont on parle, qui sont les fondamentaux d'Auroville, y compris cette ville de 50 000 habitants, la galaxie, qui est un concept fabuleux, et que vraiment il y a une réflexion collective, comme ce que vous êtes en train de faire, sur ces thèmes fondamentaux, et de cette réflexion, de créer des groupes de travail, mettre des objectifs clairs, mettre l'énergie nécessaire pour que les moyens financiers viennent, et donc à partir de là, faire un Auroville où il fait bon vivre, parce que chacun a un rôle, une réalité qui n'est pas automatiquement la survie pour gagner de l'argent, mais la survie, c'est-à-dire une vie supérieure, quelque chose qui soit vraiment en rapport avec le rêve de mer, avec cette aspiration que les Aurovilliens portent en eux.